Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Friday. This is Game Day Live, coming to you live from the Primetime Radio studios inside the bunker. Undisclosed location in beautiful New Jersey. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, Twitch, and now on Instagram Live on the Let's Go Devils Network. I'm your host, Sam Wu, here flying solo before the Devils take on the Vancouver Canucks in Vancouver at the Rogers Center. Yeah. Is it Rogers Center? I forgot. It's Rogers Arena. There's only two sponsors up in Canada, Scotiabank and Rogers. And, occasionally the Bell. Devils taking on the Vancouver Canucks. Devils on a 2-game heater right now. Vinny Parisi is freezing his butt off in Chicago right now. So we decided, you know what, Vinny? After the Blackhawks game, just go home. It's cold. It's minus 10, I think, out there right now in Chicago. The big storm, the calm before the storm, about to hit New Jersey. But don't you worry. The Let's Go Devils podcast, inside the bunker, can survive any kind of catastrophe, a nuclear disaster, because there will be 3 things left if something happened in New Jersey. There'd be cockroaches, there would be taxes, and the Let's Go Devils podcast. I can guarantee you that. Guarantee you that. As I see folks filing in on the Instagram Live and YouTube Live, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. It's a late one today. 10 p.m. Eastern start. Devils taking on the Vancouver Canucks. Jacob Markstrom will be starting in net tonight. Always makes me nervous, but the Vancouver Canucks, you cannot take this team too lightly. Because after all, they beat the Devils back about a month and a half ago at the Rock, where we all missed out on Hughes Bowl because of the big trade where Quinn Hughes went to Minnesota. Right now, Quinn Hughes in 20 games with about 2 goals and 22 assists, total of 24 points. No longer with the Vancouver Canucks. The Canucks that have been, both Minnesota and Vancouver, they're all right. Vancouver not really winning. But right now, the Devils have an opportunity to go on a 3-game heater and win 3 in a row. After impressive victory over the Edmonton Oilers 2-1 on Wednesday. And before that, on Tuesday night, beating the Calgary Flames 2-1 in overtime. Shimon Nemit's overtime goal. The Devils have a little momentum here. And Sheldon Keefe, unless something has changed in the last 10 minutes, Sheldon Keefe has pretty much kept the same lineup. Whatever works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And right now, the New Jersey Devils need to capitalize on this momentum. Do the little things right. Play well defensively. Have solid goaltending. Eventually, the scoring will come. The scoring will come eventually. Jacob Markstrom leading the Devils out on the ice. He is the starter. Jake Allen backing up. That's now confirmed. We'll try to get a live look in at Rogers Arena shortly from warm-ups. But yeah, so the lineup tonight looks like this. On the first line, Jack Hughes centering Timo Meier and Jesper Bratt. Second line, Heischer centering Dawson Mercer on the right wing, Palat on the left wing. Third line, Paul Cotter getting another start at center on that third line. Downtown Connor Brown on the right wing, Dadonov on the left wing, and that fourth line, which is a pretty decent line that's caused some havoc. Cody Glass centering Lenny Amenaho on the right wing and Arseny Gritsik on the left wing. Four solid lines for Sheldon Keefe and the New Jersey Devils. On the defensive pairings, first pairing, Brett Pesce and Jonas Siegenthaler. Second pairing, Brendan Dillon and Dougie Hamilton. Third pairing, Kovacevic and Nemec to round that out. Again, if you haven't heard, Jacob Markstrom is in net. Jake Allen backing up. Seeing some of you folks commenting on a Friday night. Some of you home, some of you at the bar. Let's get a location check where you're at right now. Like to know where all our fans are coming from this wonderful evening against the Canucks. Vancouver Canucks, as I said, I think they're in last place in the Western Conference or even in the entire National Hockey League. Sometimes it changes overnight. Vancouver Canucks obviously rebuilding. Still with some young prospects coming from Minnesota in that trade. Steve Tartas says move Palat to the bottom or scratch. Ouch. Dag for Hansen is now throwing punches in the YouTube live. Let's open up the offense like the gym opened up Craig Perubi's melon. Not very funny, but it kind of is. Steve Tartas wants to move 29 to the top line. Lenny Amenaho. And move Timo Meier to the second line. Hey, I would go with what works right now till told otherwise. I would just go with what works. Corbin, thank you for the location check. Says, let's go Devils from Saskatchewan, Canada. I've always wanted to go to Regina. I know there's a couple car dealerships out there that my good friend, I don't know if he still works there, my good friend out there works at. I always wanted to travel to Canada, like take the summer off. Take the summer off and get in the Jeep and just go through all over Canada. That'd be a heck of a trip. Would love that trip. Serve says Matthew Tkachuk making some enemies with the Rangers. Went out him now. Hey, we got a live look in. Thank you, little Sean, at Rogers Arena, where you see Jacob Markstrom is taking his warm-ups right now. Sean doing this flying solo mancation trip to Western Canada by himself, by the way. You know, he went by himself. He didn't ask Uncle Sam to come along for the trip, but that's okay. That's okay, little Sean. I'll remember that one day. But I can't make fun of Notre Dame right now because you're doing this. So I'll keep my mouth shut about it because I still need to kiss your butt for till after the Seattle game. Then I don't need you anymore. Serve says, I saw the Nordiques play when I was 7 years old. Yeah, I remember seeing the Nordiques. I actually have a Matt Sundin Nordiques jersey. People don't know that. I love Matt Sundin back in the day. First overall pick in 1989 NHL draft. So Corbin does live in Regina. All right, well, let's get some more location checks. I don't see anybody typing it in the YouTube live. Beachmaster says Markey equals L, thinking he's going to get the loss. Look, he got the win the last game. Again, I'm not pessimistic, nor am I optimistic about Jacob Markstrom, but he knows what he needs to do, because I've been saying all along, you got to ride Jake the Snake Allen. He's the one that's been consistently performing night in, night out. I get it. You don't want to burn out Jake Allen, but look, he has plenty of time to rest during the Olympic break. Pete M says Fruitland, Maryland. Wow. All right, so we got folks in Maryland. Hey, I heard you guys are going to get hit pretty hard with that storm coming in. What else here? Yeah, Serve says Sundin was awesome. Yeah, he was a big centerman. You know, he was captain for the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know, hated rooting against him, but I love Matt Sundin. You see Jack Hughes skating around. If you guys don't know, on Fansided, Stephanie Driver did a one-on-one interview with Jack Hughes. Go to pucksandpitchforks.com after this podcast to view. Roman, Woodridge, New Jersey. Weather's beautiful here this time of year. If you're into it feeling like it's 5 degrees. ST Huckleberryable, Houston, Texas. Wow, we got some folks in all sorts of places from the internet listening in. Thank you. If you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to our podcast on YouTube at Let's Go Devils, Facebook Live, Twitch, and Instagram Live at Let's Go Devils Podcast, and on X at Let's Go Devils Pod. I'm your host, Sam Wu, flying solo for Game Day Live as Vinny Parisi's on assignment dealing with that wintry mess in Chicago. Serve says Jackson a book club apparently and crushes books. Yeah, you know what? I do audiobooks myself. Do a lot of audiobooks. I do a lot of listening in the car. Reading, I don't have time for it, but reading puts me to sleep. You know, reading does put me to sleep, so I prefer the audiobooks. I don't even know how I got through school, because every time I read a book, I didn't get past 2 pages before I was falling asleep or just disinterested, you know. But, you know, I used to keep myself awake by flipping the book upside down and reading backwards. I don't know why, but that just helped. But you got to do what you got to do. Maybe I'm wired and programmed wrong. Dagford Hansen says he's making jokes from the steamy turd that is Philadelphia. Getting a location check from all you folks. Kind of interesting where everybody's from. Jay Snow, where are you from? Is Jack Hughes taking any one-timers and warm-ups? Well, let's go to full screen on this one. Let's go on full screen. Hopefully our cameraman, little Sean, can hold it steady. Let's see here. Is he taking one-timer? Who's taking one-timers? Is that Dawson Mercer? Is that Dawson Mercer? It looks like Dawson Mercer. And then you see Jack Hughes feeding him the puck. It looks like. There we go. Jack Hughes just doing his thing at Rogers Arena during warm-ups. Really, really a privilege to get, you know, all this footage. Little Sean. Robert Isaacson says Jersey City, New Jersey. Steve Tartas says Westchester, New Jersey. Let's see here. Will Dougie get a point, says Serve? I think so. Beam me up 1930 from Long Island. Live now in Melbourne, Florida, which is near Cocoa Beach. And there's little Sean doing something. Yeah. All right, so I think we lost the video feed of probably got kicked out because we did get a late start to this podcast. But that's okay. That's okay. Mel Boring is what Steve Engel says. Don't listen to Steve Engel. Don't listen to Steve Engel. Jason O, Nyack, New York. I've been up there before. Nyack, New York. Suffern, New York, that area, right over the border. I go to Cocoa Beach, Florida. That's one of my favorite places in Florida. Cocoa Beach, Florida. Especially at Sandbar Sports Grill. That's right. All right, let's get all your predictions. I want to see your predictions for Game Day Live. As what are the Devils going to do for in this game? I want to get your predictions. I'm going to also social media hop. I see Grant Bryan on. He asked me, did you see the quotes from the Oilers coach saying he was expecting things to be easy? Yeah, I mean, that's bulletin board material. But I also say, I would say the same thing too, because the way the Devils had been, again, you just really don't know which Devils team is actually going to show up on any given night. That's been the problem with this New Jersey Devils team. You get a hard read on them because they've been so inconsistent. They have been so inconsistent all season long. Selected Boy says 4-3 Devils. Steve Dartaz says 5-2 Devils. Serve says 5-2 Devils. Dagfer Hansen says 6-3 NJ win. Jap gripping tightly will score a power play goal. Beam Me Up 1930 says 4-1 Devils. Jay Snow says, Sam, what is considered Central Jersey? It doesn't exist. It's Taylor Ham country regardless. Michael Hayes says Devils win a laughter 6-1. Roman is 17-0. New Jersey Devils 3-game heater. Big prediction. Robert Isaacson said 4-0 Devils. They take their frustration on the Canucks GM who caused all this drama in the locker room. PM says, I want to say 4-1 Devils. I like how we've been playing. Me too. I like the goaltending. I like the defense. Offensively, I know the analytics and statistics say the Devils are not that great 5-on-5, but the eye test in the last 2 games, I don't think that they've been that bad. They just got to finish. Gears of John says Taylor Ham isn't real. No, it is real. They always called it Taylor Ham since the 1800s. But Teddy Roosevelt formed this little committee called, which is now the FDA, that ruled it. Technically, it's not ham because of something, it's made from certain part of the pig. And it's like, again, it's the correctness of all of it. You don't call a Zamboni a 4-wheel drive ice scraper. Do you use a Kleenex or do you use a tissue? Xerox, blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's a name brand. No, you pay homage to the person that invented it. All right? We call ourselves the Let's Go Devils podcast. What are you going to call it? Just another Devils fan podcast? I can fight you on that issue all day long. All day long I can. Jack will finish War and Peace by the second intermission. Deck for Hansen. Very nice. Very nice. Robert Isaacson says Central Jersey does exist. Pork roll, scrapple, anything else, fight me. Scrapple. Yeah, if you ever order a shot at a bar, ask for the New Jersey Turnpike. That's a good one, too. It reminds me of Scrapple. Let's see here. Serve says Jack's reading Romeo and Juliet in between periods. He crushes books. Hey, maybe him and his new girlfriend, Tate McRae, maybe they read books together. I think that's very nice. Roman says Sam Taylor Ham woo. It's always been called Taylor Ham, Roman. It always has been. You know. Central Jersey equals Driscoll Bridge to Lacey. Yeah, maybe like Manalapan could be considered Central Jersey. I don't know. JCP&L, Jersey Central Power and Light. The worst utility company on earth. You know, anytime before a big storm, the light's already going out before it even hit. Let's hope that JCP&L keep the lights on. So the Let's Go Devils podcast, well, we'll be on no matter what. We're pretty secure here at the bunker. All right, so I'm going to give you my prediction. My prediction. I would say, because Markstrom's in it, 5-3 Devils. 5-3 Devils. Michael Hay says 10-minute warning for the Devils game. Thank you, Michael Hay. We're going to have Devils After Dark after the game. Scotty and I will recap the game that was. Thank goodness it's Friday. We got Saturday. You know what that means. I won't have a problem staying up late. Solar power generator. I don't believe in solar power. Nope. How is Woo feeling about the Iron Hawks? I have none. I don't know. I have none. Let me sleep on it. Maybe I'll have an opinion by the morning. Woo. Robert Eisen grew up in Freehold Township. Very nice. Very nice. Year of John, mostly Monmouth and Ocean County, some parts of Middlesex. Anything that borders Staten Island and up is North Jersey. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it for now. I'll see you after the game. Dropping the podcast in about 10 minutes. Boy, wouldn't it be nice end tonight with the victory? Would be great. Anyway, I want to thank all those tuning in. I want to thank Lil Sean for the wonderful footage down at the glass. Devils, Canucks. Let's see if the Devils can squeak out a victory here. Thank you. I'll see you after the game. Till next time, let's go Devils.